You're listening to The Aviation Show,
brought to you by Debella Training.
For more information, contact us on www.debella.co.za now.
And good afternoon to you all. Welcome to The Aviation Show. We're coming to you live from 27 Boxes in Melbourne. Joining me in studio, lovely Belinda Werner.
Hi, happy to be here again.
And today we've got a special treat for you. We have got a budding astronaut, Russian astronaut, actually South African Russian astronaut. Her name is Jeanie van der Merwe. Welcome to the show, Jeanie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. It's great to be able to join you.
Yeah, and you are 14,000 kilometers away in Russia.
Pretty much, yes. I'm sitting in Moscow in my hostel right now.
Well, that sounds nice. What's the weather like?
You know, it's getting there. We had a bit of a scare with the weather. We had snow in May, which really never happens, at least for the last, 40 years apparently. So that was a bit crazy, but it's warming up now. It's getting to about 18, 19 in the day.
I find it amazing how people say it's the worst weather we've had in 40 years.
It's always 40 years.
Seems to be a theme.
So welcome to the show. We've really been battling to get hold of each other, but it's a pleasure to have you on our show. And we want to find out all about becoming an astronaut and what inspired you. So let's go right back to the beginning. And how did this whole thing start?
Absolutely, yeah. Can I tell you, it wasn't always pilot. I mean, it wasn't always astronaut. It was, in the beginning, it was pilot. It was actually, my aim was to become a pilot doctor who flew around Africa and helped everyone out,
Okay.
One of those stories. And I remember exactly when the astronaut really started becoming my passion is when I was in grade 4. We had a project about your hero,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, my parents are obviously, very high up there, and I was keen to choose them, but I decided to go with something else. And I decided to take Mark Shuttleworth, who had just been to space as the
Paying
first South
passenger.
African space tourist.
Yeah.
But don't the kids in class if you say you want to become a pilot, that's bad enough. Never mind a blooming astronaut. Didn't they tease you and say, no, it's impossible and you can't do it?
You know what? I think everyone just, accepted it. This little girl running around wanting to become an astronaut. I think people were like, she'll grow out of it,
Yeah, cute. She'll never do it.
Yeah. So yeah. But eventually, I just started, reading more, and as the project got to a close, I just really felt like that was what I wanted to do. What better office to work in than an office, circling the Earth in space.
Among the stars, yes.
Yeah.
But now, is there any aviation in the family? Does it come from a grandfather or someone that wanted to be an astronaut or a pilot or something?
You know what? My parents say I might have gotten some of the intellect of my grandfather on my mom's side. He basically, when he was growing up, he designed one of those jetpacks, actually.
Oh, wow, cool.
And yeah, unfortunately, I mean, he designed it and he was building it and everything like that. And unfortunately, I think he was just too far ahead for the days he was living in, because the people that he proposed it to actually kind of laughed at him and said, this will never work.
A little bit like what they said to you is, Jeanie wants to be an astronaut. Nah.
Yeah, exactly, So I think I take on my grandfather in that way. But as well, my father really, he has a passion for aircraft. I mean, we went to every air show, and he would take me outside on his shoulders, and we lived close to Grand Central Airport. Growing up, and he would just explain to me all the aircraft that came past,
Wow.
So he kind of gave me this also, the passion in the aviation industry, definitely.
We did that to Cindy.
Yes, I can remember clearly going to, I think it was Swartkops, and we still have the photograph of carrying Cindy on Des's shoulders. And she was so tired and she fell asleep and she was drooling all over his head.
Down my head. Yeah.
Show it was it's the cutest picture.
Okay, so you finished matric, and then what then? You're like, okay, where do I go to astronaut school?
Yeah, that was really what it was about. I mean, I even did a test in school, aptitude test, and it
Yeah.
also, indicated that was my industry, aeronautical or aerospace engineering. So I started looking, internationally, because first of all, in South Africa, unfortunately, at this moment in time, we lack aerospace industry and aerospace engineering studies in our universities. We have good aeronautical engineering courses for aircraft, but the space industry is a bit closed to us at the moment,
Okay, so
especially studying in it.
just explain to us very briefly what is the big difference between aerospace and aeronautical engineering.
Well, aeronautical engineering would be helicopters and airplanes, and aerospace engineering will be satellites and rockets.
Okay.
They do have lots of core subjects that are similar, which helped me along the line, but in the end, it's one is working with lift, drag, gravity, and things like that, and the other doesn't have gravity to concern. I mean, it has some pull from other planets, the rocket, but in general, there's some forces that I don't consider in my calculations.
Okay, so now you ended up in Russia. Why not the States?
To be honest, Russia at that time when I was looking, where to go next, Russia was absolutely number one, NASA had at that time kind of gone through a bit of a dip. The government wasn't giving so much money to them at that stage, to send astronauts to space.
Mm-hmm.
The American astronauts actually would fly to Moscow and to Star City in Russia, and they would actually go on board the Russian Soyuz rockets to space.
Wow.
So at that stage, Russia was definitely a better option for me.
Leading it.
And also,
More the leader than
yes. And the language. I mean, the American astronauts are required to learn Russian language because it is so prominent, and because they're flying on the Russian rockets, So Russia was, definitely.
It sounds like it's almost piggybacking off the Russians.
They were for a while, yes, absolutely. I mean, they still are at the moment. They do still fly on the Russian rockets, but there are rumors that they will soon start launching their own rockets again to the International Space Station, yes.
Okay, so you had to learn Russian as well.
I did, absolutely, yes. What a challenge.
I can believe that, because we were there for just about a month and we can hardly greet because it just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, just to order a blooming cup of coffee is a major problem. And then you get, you tell them Americano, and you get this black coffee with no sugar and no milk.
Oh, yes. No, that's
Which is really, really expensive. The coffee is so
Yes.
expensive.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, you guys won't believe the funny things I've eaten here just because I couldn't order the right food or what I wanted,
Well, maybe it was preparing you for your space travels.
You know what it is? It definitely is. I think if I can survive the beginning stages of Russia, just kind of settling in and getting the language under the belt, I think I can cope with a lot of other things too,
So you got there, what were you, like 19 at that point, or how old were you when you got to Russia and decided to do this thing?
Actually, I'll try and shorten the story. I actually went to University of Pretoria for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Just because I honestly just couldn't couldn't go right after school to Russia. I mean, it was definitely what I was considering, but it just didn't work out for many reasons. So I went to University of Pretoria and did mechanical aeronautical engineering there for 2 years. And then beginning of third year, I decided again, no, I don't know why I released this passion, you know, why I gave up kind of, and I spoke to my parents and they were all ears. My dad took a little bit more convincing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be keen sending my daughter to Russia to study this. Like,
Yeah,
no, thank you.
That's what he was thinking.
Especially if you look at the movies and they have these underground kind of
Oh,
people, and it's
yeah.
always Russians or South Africans. So I don't know who's on top here.
But,
Exactly. So
we're going to discuss this after the break. We're just going to go to a quick ad and we'll be back.
Get all of today's aviation news on one site. Visit pilotspost.com. Updated twice a week, Pilots Post is a convenient way for aviation professionals and enthusiasts to remain updated with the latest aviation technologies, products, events, and news. Aviation safety, technical information, events reports, aircraft reviews, and aviation personalities are some of our most popular articles. Now in its 5th year with more than 100,000 hits per month and almost 15,000 dedicated readers, Pilots Post is available free on the web. No registration is required. To read Pilots Post, simply go to www.pilotspost.com.
Have you ever wanted to travel the world? Then maybe it's time to consider a career in aviation. At the Academy of Aviation, we specialize in cabin crew training. On completion of our SACAA accredited 7-week course, you will be fully qualified to take on an exciting career as a cabin crew member. Our training facility, based at Lanseria Airport, prides itself with the highest standard in the industry. At the Academy of Aviation, our motto is, we do not negotiate safety. Contact us today for a free quote or email us at +27 83 600 3102 or jenib@theacademyofaviation.co.za.
And welcome back to the Aviation Show, coming to you live from 27 Boxes in Melville. And we've got a fascinating guest. Her name's Jeanie van der Merwe, all the way from Russia. So before the break, we were talking about how she had to learn Russian, and she's actually studying in Russian. So we've still got her on the line on Skype. Jeanie, welcome back.
thank you.
So now your dad isn't too keen about you being in Russia, and you're all by yourself, and you can't order a cup of coffee. So tell us the rest of the story.
Yeah, so after a little bit more convincing, my dad finally said, okay, you know what? This is your dream. We know that it's been your dream since grade 4.